Oops.
Got it.
Hey, hey,
So I got my notes.
hey, 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 hey. Got it. Got it. Got it.
Got it.
It is Friday's Eve. Friday's Eve.
Yes, it is Friday's Eve. Put it up. Woo woo.
Friday. Hi everyone. It's Friday's Eve. Yay.
Yes, it's Friday's Eve. And if you don't know what that means, it's Thursday. And it's the day before Friday. If you don't know what that means.
In other
like...
words, it's Thursday. Just in case you didn't know that.
Yeah, just in case. Because some people don't know. They're like, what?
People don't know. That is true. Hey, and we're here. How's everyone doing?
Here. Yes. How is everyone doing? Please, as we always say, leave your comments and leave some comments in the comment section. We love to read them. We'll definitely respond. We definitely like to know how your week's been, or what's been going on. But with that being said, we were going to jump right into it. But this is your first reminder. Please, we don't ask much, but hit that like button so we can affect the YouTube algorithm, all of that good stuff. Of course, hit that subscribe button with the notification bell so you get notified when we go live, right? Not only do we send out links and stuff like that, but you'll get a personal
exactly. They live, right? They live. So, yeah.
So hit that button, all of that. But again, with that being said, we're gonna get right into it. Welcome. Welcome to all our returning hashtag usual suspects. Thank you. We love you guys for coming back. But if this is your first time, we're a local online news show. Excuse me. We talk about local, national, and international news. I am Aaron Casey.
I'm Lana Quest. Oh, wait. Let me get my sexy on. I'm Lana Quest.
Oh, let them know. Let them know.
Trying.
Well, we got an excellent show for you guys today. Please give a big shout out to our chat monitor. She's gonna be right there with you guys, interacting. Show her some love. She's awesome. And like we always do, we're gonna start the show with some quick news. And yes, this will be quick. At the top of the list, of course, we gotta talk about what's going on in California. A lot is always going on. Of course, there's wildfires, but right now there's an oil spill. A oil pipeline burst, expelling about 126,000 gallons of oil into the ocean. This is taking place in Orange County. So that area right there, it is just crazy right now. But everything that we talk about will be in the description after the show. Moving right along, of course, I always want to keep you guys going up to date what's going on in Haiti. Some more things have been going on, but Rockefeller Vincent, he was their justice minister. So he was the one who was saying they need to investigate Ariel Henry, who is the new prime minister of Haiti. Well, he got fired.
Nothing suspect about that. There's nothing suspicious. Nothing to see fired. Here. It's a nothing burger.
Right? Nothing burger. So he got fired, as well as Bedford Claude, and he was a prosecutor. They were both kind of like teaming up to do an investigation. They both got fired. It's crazy. Hopefully, we'll keep you up to date about what's going on with Haiti. Moving right along, some more climate change stuff, people. We're losing trees. And because of that, this article actually put a dollar amount on what we would have to spend to make up for the trees that we've lost. Yeah, $36 million is what's going to be needed to maintain or make up for the trees that we have lost. And that is on a regular basis. That's not annually, yearly. That's about basically almost every day. So $36 million. Crazy
Wow.
people.
Y'all better
Crazy.
stop using those real trees for Christmas. Get yourself a plastic tree. No, I'm
So
just kidding.
easy.
I think with the trees, I think when they cut down trees for Christmas, that they plant one. I think like that's how that
Mhm.
works. Like they cut one down, they plant one. I don't know. I think that's what I heard. Don't quote me.
But hey, if you can't get a plastic tree, I just seen some that got lights, some
Yeah,
that
I'm
got the
not
little
right.
cross.
Exactly. I remember
Like you don't even have to decorate.
I remember being a kid and we had a tiny silver. It looked like it was made from aluminum foil. And like the whole, it was like this big. I mean, my mom was gradually getting out of that because, she became a Jehovah's Witness. So like we went from real trees to, little plastic ones to like the little silver one she would just kind of take out as decoration. And then at some point, she just never put it down. It was like in the corner as part of decoration when she became really big into the witnesses. And it's like, okay, this is not a Christmas tree anymore. Like, whatever. Yeah, keep going. I'm sorry.
Hey, no. That is an excellent story. Everybody's Christmas is a little different, right? But moving along, though, but yeah, we're gonna move along, because I would go deep into the anyway. We're talking about Joe Manchin and Kristen Cinema. They get a thumbs down. Wait, hold on. There we go. Yeah, you get one of these. Right now they're doing a lot of blocking. They need to be in the NFL for as much blocking as they're doing right now.
Yeah.
Blocking Biden's infrastructure bill. Joe Manchin, he wants 1.5 trillion because he thinks 3.5 trillion is too much. But yet he was one of the people that approved Trump's tax cuts and all that stuff.
Right.
But we won't get into that. But that he'll prove that, but he won't approve this.
Right.
It's crazy. Both of them, again, they get a thumbs down. Moving right along, on some sad news. We briefly, I think we might have talked about this a couple weeks ago, but Ernest Johnson, unfortunately, was executed the other day. If you don't know who that is, he was convicted of killing 3 people during an armed robbery. The problem with his execution is he had an IQ of 70, meaning he had the equivalent of a 10-year-old kid, a grown man with the mindset of a 10-year-old. So a lot of things about that, but unfortunately he did pass. They did execute him the other day. So make sure you guys read that article, learn more about him, and what's going
Can I
on with
add
that
to that
situation.
too? Just for one
Yeah,
second.
go right ahead.
I know it's quick. Yeah, on top of that, the problem with it is the death penalty in general, right? We have these racist people who are in charge of who's going to live and who's going to die. You can't have the death penalty in an unjust system. So if you have systemic racism, how in the world are we going to have the death penalty when we're being disproportionately, murdered? Like that's absolutely insane.
Convicted.
Also, that happened in Missouri. In Missouri is Governor Parson. Governor Parson is the guy that is holding Kevin Strickland hostage after he's been prosecuted, say he's innocent. He's been in prison for what, 30, 40, 50, I don't know,
It's
gang of
been
years.
decades.
It's been a gang of years. He went in as a teen and he's in his 60s at this point, and Strickland is like, I think he's guilty. I don't care what y'all say. So now his attorneys have to jump through hoops. I believe as a follow-up that this week, maybe today or tomorrow, he's back in court. So a new judge is listening to the new evidence. So that's that. Sorry.
Well, we'll definitely have to keep you updated about that.
Yeah.
We'll definitely keep you guys updated about that. The man is innocent. And there's other people saying he's innocent, other prosecutors and people like that. So we'll definitely keep you guys updated about that case. And lastly, I'm going to hit a quick couple points. Henrietta Lacks, Miss Quest has talked about her numerous times on the show. I'm just giving you a quick update. Her family is suing Thermo Fisher Scientific for a lot of money because they doing stuff with her cells, and I personally won't get into that right now. Again, this is quick news. But all this started back in 1951 when John Hopkins illegally took her cells out of her body when she was at the hospital. But that's all I got right now for quick news. I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Let me add to that. Let me just add to that.
No, go right ahead.
Yeah, real quick. So she had a very rapid form of a cervical cancer. It's very aggressive. So that's what she died from. And then they found out while they were treating her. And mind you, no hospital would treat this woman because she was Black. And she finally did seek and found treatment with John Hopkins Hospital. And they found that her cells replicated very quickly. So they took her cells, as Casey said, and started using them to create cures for things. Let's just let you guys know what Henrietta Lacks cells has done for America. Polio vaccine, groundwork, X-rays. She developed cancer research. Her cells are used in that. Her cells are used in the COVID vaccine. Her cells are being used in like space travel, how space travel affects cells, like in all of those things. So give that family their money. Also, two more things in quick news. Texas, the Texas ban on abortions has been halted. That just happened. That was like just temporarily. It happened last night. You know, there was a lawsuit against Texas, so that the judge just halted everything. However, it's going to the 5th district. So it's just going to be temporary because they may lift that that halt on it.
Is it the 5th district, a Trump appointed judge?
Exactly. So this is probably the celebration. I don't even know if we should be celebrating. So that's that.
Yeah, well, hopefully they find this unconstitutional, whatever, to get this off the books. I think this is still not the Texas, but the Alabama case is still going to the Supreme Court. Next year. We'll definitely keep you up to date about that. Once we hear anything, information, we'll definitely inform you. But as of right now, it's going to be in 2022. But it's, stuff is working now. The gears are in motion now. Lawyers on both sides is building their cases. And this particular temporary halt, again, even like she said, it's going to the 5th district. That's a Trump appointed judge. But that's also giving the defense enough time to build their case as well. But again, at the final end, the judge has to say so. So we'll see. We'll definitely keep you guys up to date. But that's all we got for quick news. Take it away, Miss Quest.
Oh, so here, wow, we're here. It's time
we made it.
I was just not even prepared. Like, wow, we got here. That was quick. Let's go. So it is time for Guess the Quotes and quotes and questions. Let's just say that. Let me find them because this happened so fast. I was not prepared. Sorry, guys. All right, I am ready. Is everyone ready? If you are watching, if you are being a voyeur, it is your time now to get into the chat so you can play the game.
Yes, and also hit that like button.
And hit that like button. So the first question, no, we're not going to lead with a question. We'll lead with a quote. First quote, Tucker Carlson's White Power Hour rolls out the replacement theory.
Oh.
Tucker Carlson's White Power Hour rules out the replacement theory. Who said that this week?
It's right there. It's right there. Hold up.
Anyone know? Oh, wait, maybe I should put these glasses on.
Ah,
Tucker Carlson's White Power Hour rolls out the replacement theory. Now, if I give you another hint, you're gonna know who said it, but I will give
I,
you a hint
ah,
because I don't see anyone in the chat guessing. Oh, there we go. There we go. Trevor
that's
Noah.
who it
That's pretty
was.
quick. It was Joy Reid, but
Yes,
Trevor Noah is
Joy
a
Reid.
great, that's a great guess, Trevor Noah, because that sounds like something he would say. That sounds like Trevor
Oh,
Noah. That's a great guess.
he's actually coming to Boston on a side note.
Yeah, I
Stand up.
did hear that. Next quote. If you want to stop abortions, vote for the party that is making sure everyone has health care, a diploma, and birth control. If you want to stop abortions, vote for the party that is making sure everyone has health care, a diploma, and birth control. This is a night news host, and it's a woman. If you want to stop abortions, vote for the party that is making sure everyone has health care, a diploma, and birth control. Not Joy.
Hmm.
Michelle, the answer to the last question was Joy Reid. The answer to this question
Samantha.
is not Joy Reid. If you want to stop abortions, vote for the party that is making sure everyone has health care, a diploma, and birth control. It is not Samantha. She is on MSNBC. Now you know.
Ah,
Rachel. Exactly. It's Rachel.
ah.
Rachel Maddow. All right. Next quote. The argument that we deliberately push content that makes people angry for profit is deeply illogical. The argument that we deliberately push content that makes people angry for profit is deeply illogical. Yes. Go on, Infinite. That's right.
Is it Francis?
Zuckerberg.
Oh,
Infinite got
Zuckerberg. I
it.
was thinking that was Francis Haugen. Was that
Oh.
during his testimony?
This is a statement that he made after the whistleblower blew him a new one. Not in a and not in a good way.
Yo, Facebook, man. I mean, it's
Okay,
ugh.
here's a question. Who is paying attention this week? What retired NBA player brought a 50 million cannabis facility to Detroit?
OMG.
Yes,
Was it
Michelle, the
Weber?
answer to the last question was the Facebook guy.
I like that answer.
Yeah, that's the answer to the last question. What
Ah,
retired NBA player brought a 50 million cannabis facility to Detroit? Yes, Michelle.
Weber.
Weber
What she got?
did. Yes, it was Weber. Weber doing
Nice.
things in the cannabis industry.
Chris Weber.
Yes,
That's
Chris
who it is.
Weber. Absolutely. Let's see. Who dropped off the Forbes list of richest people this week?
Ooh, wow. I did. Who dropped?
Dropped off, not dropped down. Something's wrong with my mic. It's not really working. Yes. Who dropped off? Yes.
No.
Oh, Infinite. Go Infinite. Go. He got it all. Trump. Infinite just came in
He did?
he came in out of nowhere and he's just like
Yo, Infinite, that's the guy, right? He be coming in. He be doing his thing, man. Shout out to brother Infinite.
Okay.
Doing your thing.
One more. Let's see. Which one do I want to do? Okay, here we go. I don't want America to be an entitlement country. Who said that? Who said that ish this week? I don't want America to be an entitlement country. Who said that?
Was that McConnell?
Nope.
Ah.
if I give a hint, you're gonna know. Okay, I'll give a hint. Oh, good. Oh, Infinite got it again.
Mansion. Should have known. Should have known. Yo, when next time I'm gonna
Infinite, do
phone a
you
friend.
want our jobs? Infinite, do you want this job or what? Like, I just, why are we here if we got Infinite? Thank you, ladies,
Infinite be
Michelle
on
and
point.
Michelle, because Infinite just like, I got it. And it's so funny because I think like he gets it before everyone else gets it, meaning like he hears it before they hear it. Like his delay is not as long. So it's just
Right?
like...
He's basically in the room.
Infinite.
What's going on, bro? Pound it up. Pound it up.
Oh, that's hilarious. What you got? What you got as we move on?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
for us.
So real quick, I do want to again
Yeah,
give
his
a big
system
shout
is
out.
faster.
Yeah, I do want to give a big shout out to our moderator, Michelle. Definitely hold it down. Everybody, please show us some love. Say thank you. Shout her out. Something. She's holding it down for us. Been holding it down for us for a while now. So big shout out to her. Thank you. With that being said, get into my topic for the day. If you guys haven't been watching the news or anything like that, or haven't heard, there was a big bombshell, a big leak just the other day called the Pandora Papers. And if you're wondering what the Pandora Papers is, in quick reference, it's similar to the Panama Papers that was released a couple years ago by the same organization, ICIJ. The ICIJ is the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists. The best way I can describe it is, if you know or familiar with Interpol, that's the international police. They be going out doing that. This is similar to that. It's international investigative journalists investigating stuff, because that's what journalists do. They are great individuals. You know, they bring stories and information to light that people didn't know, or more information about situations, things like that. Journalists, great people. Kind of blanket that, but we'll leave it at that. But the ICIJ is the organization that brought us the Pandora Papers and the Panama Papers. Just to give you a little background, the Pandora Papers is basically an investigation that they did into tax havens, basically, or offshore accounts. Very simple. Offshore accounts is when rich people don't want their money taxed, so they create a shell company somewhere else. So
that's
for
where all
instance,
my
like,
money is. That's why I'm semi broke now, because my money is in a Swiss bank somewhere.
Right? The Swiss banks, Hong Kong, Belize, everybody knows about the Cayman Islands. All these places are offshore accounts. And again, rich people who don't want their money taxed send it over there. And only thing they have to worry about is what money they have in their relative country. Well, through these Pandora Papers, the ICIJ found that there are over 330 politicians from 90 countries who have offshore accounts. Just to name a few, there's politicians, rich folk. So this is just to name a few: Vladimir Putin, Elton John, Shakira, the King of Jordan.
You know what's interesting? Not to cut you off, but like,
no,
Putin, he don't have to pay taxes if he doesn't want to. Like, why is he hiding his money? Like, what? He owns Russia. Like,
exactly. Like, what do you?
So weird.
Who's taxing you?
Right. You will get anthrax real quick. Like, what is this white stuff? Like,
right? I want to look into his taxes.
Right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry, Mr. Putin. That's crazy.
Like, but yeah, this is crazy. Putin, Shakira, Elton John, the King of Jordan, and Tony Blair, the ex-prime minister of London. Sorry about that. Of England. Yeah, there we go. So this is just a small sample of the types of people, Jeff Bezos, one of the richest persons in the world, he has, of course, offshore accounts.
Yeah.
Again, these are called tax havens. And tax havens is a place where, again, rich people can put their money off to the side and not have to worry about getting taxed.
Right.
Because they don't like to pay taxes, but yet people like us do. But we'll get into that a little bit later. So now you're probably wondering, why is all of this? What does this mean? Why is he talking about Pandora Papers and there's some organization international? What does this mean for a regular person, everyday Joe? Right? How does that affect me? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. The way it affects you is, again, taxes. What are taxes for? Roads, bridges, different programs to help society, individuals. They want to do infrastructure. How's that going to get paid? That's getting paid through taxes. Now, I'm not talking about infrastructure that's going on right now. I'm just saying in general about infrastructure. That's how infrastructure, certain programs, that's how stuff gets paid, is through taxes. So if you have rich people, mega rich people, putting a good portion of their money in a tax haven, a place where it's not going to get taxed, that home country from where that person is from won't be able to benefit from the taxes that they would have to pay on that money.
Right.
Right. And this is where it gets even crazy, because you have these rich folk who complain and complain and complain about paying taxes, yet they'll put a big portion of their money in a tax haven overseas and then have lobbyists fight tooth and nail for tax breaks, for tax cuts. Meals on Wheels, anybody remember that? School programs where the lunch programs, things like that. Programs that will benefit people, have a safety net. Again, these programs are funded through taxes. So yes, in some way people do complain, oh, they're taking too much money out. I know I do, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not a wealthy top 1%er. So the amount of taxes that they're taking out is equivalent to mine. And when people talk about paying their fair share, we're paying their fair share. Mm-hmm. Us. Because they are fighting tooth and nail for the taxes that they do have to pay. They want to take it down from 23%, which is nothing, down to like 10, 15. But yet at the same time, the majority of their money is in somewhere overseas, not getting taxed at all. At all. And we're here wondering, we got all these different programs. We have talking about currently, we have infrastructure bill. We have all these issues, these major issues that we're facing that we have to deal with. Joe Biden's trying to put out 20 different fires at once.
Yeah, he is.
And we're wondering, like, how are you gonna pay for all this, Joe? What you gonna do? Where's the money coming from? Everybody's worried. Well, we can't tax the people. We can't tax rich people because, one, they're fighting so that they can pay as less as they want, while at the same time saying, you know what? I'm taking my money and putting it overseas. Like, that is also affecting. I'm gonna start wrapping this up. So again, this is called the Pandora Papers. A lot of information about people putting their money overseas, how it affects us in the short term and long term, right? I'm gonna slowly wrap this up. But with all that being said, there's one place that has more experience, better privacy, secrecy, whatever you want to call, than all those other places that I named before. The Cayman Islands, Hong Kong, Belize. There's one place that's better than all that. And it's close. It's local. South Dakota, people. South Dakota. South Dakota is putting all these other tax haven places to shame. Here in America, South Dakota, specifically, and I'm horrible with names, Sioux Falls, South
Sue,
Sioux,
Sue, Sioux
Sioux,
Falls.
Sioux
Sue,
Falls,
Sue, Sue.
Sioux,
Yeah, yeah.
Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Thank
No,
you, Miss
it's
West.
actually sucks. Say sucks fall. No, I'm just
Sucks
kidding. It's Sue.
Falls.
No, it's
Look,
Sue. It's Sue. I'm
see why you
sorry.
why you messing with me? I'm not Ron Burgundy, even though I got a
Yeah, I know.
burgundy shirt on.
Sue. It's Sioux Falls.
Sioux Falls, right? They have the best system in place to make sure that wealthy people, the mega rich, whether they're here in America or overseas, can hide their money. And it's funny because, you know, that's a state. Doesn't South Dakota fall under federal laws and things like that? I think they do, but yet they have a system to where the mega rich can still hide their money and not get taxed. Part of that goes into housing. When these rich people hide their money, the best place to do it is in property, real estate. So they're buying up regular homes, they're buying up condominiums, apartment buildings, and doing nothing with it. That's part of the reason why we're in a housing crisis right now. Because a lot of these companies, a lot of these corporations are private. They're not real. They're just there to buy up property because somebody in the Middle East, Vladimir Putin, they want to hide their money so it don't get taxed. So they create these companies, and these companies buy property. And these properties happen to be houses that we, the regular people, need, or apartment buildings, or condominiums.
Right,
We
right.
can't live.
Right,
Go ahead.
right. Now, I was just going to add to that a little bit because I was watching something. I don't know if it was today. I lose track of time. But whatever the case is, what's going on, just like you said, specifically right now in Atlanta, and I'm not that familiar with Georgia, so y'all can chime in the chat who is, but I think it's Gwinnett County. I believe that is a hot county right now with beautiful homes, and Black folks are trying to buy homes there because it's just people want to be there. Companies are swooping in and putting cash down so no one can even bid for these homes. So now you're taking once again, you're taking the wealth away from Black and brown people, right? That we're trying to get homes, but these big corporations are coming in and snatching it up from underneath us. And that goes to what you're saying. They're coming with cash. Now you have to rent, and they're out here saying, pick yourself up by your bootstraps. There are no boots, and then there are no straps. Like, what do you want people to do? Sorry.
Right. And it's no, that's an excellent point. You have all these different, we got to jump through so many hoops just to be able to say, to make not even a minimum wage, just to be able to have something. We got to jump through all these hoops, and it compounds, and the pressure gets even more when you have these mega rich people hiding their money in overseas accounts, tax havens, buying up property, which then goes into, again, infrastructure. How are we going to pay for it? All these different programs, how are we going to pay for it? That's the first thing Republicans say. How are you going to pay for it? That's the first thing they say. But you have all these factors that make it harder for people to have safety nets, to have all these types of bills passed that will help people, give jobs, federal jobs, construction jobs. You know, there's money in there to help with childcare, things like that. If we don't have the resources to pay for it, just like what the Republicans want, they want it like this. They don't want to help people. Like you said, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. All this stuff is connected. Again, I'll make sure to have a link. With that, I'm done. Pass the mic off to Miss Quest.
I meant to say this one in for your quick news. I meant to tell you about this, but I forgot. But I do want to say it just in case anyone out there missed this today. So a North Carolina teacher resigned today. She resigned because she had the audacity to tell her Black students in class that if it wasn't for the Constitution, they would be her field slaves.
Wow.
Y'all sit on that for a minute. Just sit there and we're just I'm like, I'm not even gonna have a discussion about it because y'all know how the discussion is gonna go. But that is a thing that did happen. So they don't want to teach a Black history, but they will surely teach the Constitution by telling the Black kids that you would have been my slave. Like, okay. All right. So anyway, in COVID news, and we're not going to get into the data today. Well, a little bit of data. Let me get into a little bit of data. 2/3 of Americans are fully vaccinated. That means nothing to someone like me who hates the math. However, 67% of adults are vaccinated in America. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. And I'm pretty sure that push came with the mandate. So the mandates are working. Biden was actually hitting the road today, trying to push more companies into doing it because obviously it is something that is working. 6 million people have gotten their booster shots. That too, I actually got something today in an email that was like, see if you are eligible. Of course, I am not eligible yet, but I can't wait to be eligible because I love the vaccines right now. Give me all of the vaccines. If they had a vaccine for a bee sting, I would take that vaccine. Do you have vaccine for bad relationships? Give me that vaccine. Give me all of the vaccines. I want them all. I don't know what y'all are doing out here, but get vaccinated. It's interesting. I know I'm a little off, but I'm going to come back. Took my kid to the doctor today, and she's like, the pediatrician's like, has she been vaccinated? She's 12. I'm like, of course she's been vaccinated. I think you know me. So she's like, wonderful. Do you want the flu shot? Yes, give her the flu shot. Give her the HPV vaccine. And I'm just thinking, like, all these anti-vaxxers out here, they're probably not even getting their kids. And that is a new vaccine, right? HPV is a new vaccine. This vaccine can prevent. We didn't have it during our time. If you don't know what HPV is, it's human papillomavirus. I know I'm off of COVID. Just for a minute. Give me a minute. The human papillomavirus. It's just a virus, but it's a sexually transmitted virus. A lot of people are walking around with it and don't know that they're walking around with it because there's not really any symptoms. However, it can cause cancer. It can cause cervical cancer in women, and I'm not sure what the cancer it can cause in men. So now they have a vaccine for it that you can give your children when they are young so that they don't have to worry about getting cancer from this virus. So that's just a side note with that. Get your kids that vaccine if you haven't done it. If you are not an anti-vaxxer, ask your doctor for the HPV vaccine for your kids. Let's go back to COVID. There are COVID fights. When we talked about COVID sports, there are COVID fights right now. People are out of their damn minds. Violence has tripled against hospital staff. Tripled. That means that there was already violence, which is kind of baffling, but that is a thing. So hospital staff right now are 5 times more likely of being injured on the job than anyone else in the country. Like hospital staff, 5 times more. That's more than police.
Dang.
Hospital staff have more of a chance of being injured at work right now in America. That is insanity. That is insanity where you can't even do your job as a nurse or a doctor because you guys are out here being crazy. Y'all, not only are they fighting in the hospitals, these anti-vaxxers, they're showing up at school boards to fight. They're showing up when parents are walking. I saw today a woman was walking her kid to school with her mask on, kid with a mask, whole pile of anti-vaxxers with signs like, I mean, you're abusing your kids. No, you're abusing my kids right now by subjecting them to this. This is insane.
Yeah.
No way in the world you would be doing that to my kids. That, and then a piece of me is like, now these white people know what the civil rights was all about. When all we wanted to do is integrate schools and take our kids to school, and you had angry white people yelling and spitting.
No.
Right. I'm looking because I was looking at them all trying to march into the building with all these other crazy anti-vaxxers. Like, I'm like, y'all getting a little taste of history,
right?
It's not as bad. It's horrible. I digress. It's crazy. Be careful out there because these anti-vaxxers really have lost their mind. At some
Mm-hmm.
point, they probably will lose their lives as well because COVID is still real. So let's move on. If you haven't noticed, I've noticed I have not been able to get my favorite dye. And I'm like, why are things not on the shelves anymore? There are a few things when I go into the store, I can't find them. I don't know if you've had that. Like, there
No,
are
yeah.
things that just run out and you can't find. So the
Like, what's
problem
going
was,
on?
right, it's the pandemic, right? So during the pandemic, things stopped. The assembly lines stopped. China was done. They shut everything down. I remember I had some
Mm-hmm.
glasses on order and I didn't get them joints for a long time. Like they just stopped everything, right? Like the chips that you need in your computer, chips that go
Mm-hmm.
into the cars, everything is backed up. Now production has started a little bit. Now there's a traffic jam. Like I was watching the news and they were talking about cargo ships, and there were like 76 cargo ships waiting to port in Los Angeles.
Wow.
76. And these cargo ships aren't small. I don't know if you've seen them up close, but they have just it's just really big and high. Like they have thousands and thousands and thousands of supplies. Guess what kind of
Mm-hmm.
supplies are on there? They're cars, laptops, clothes, just things like that. Even when I bought my car, the guy was telling me when I bought it, and that was, I think, in June or July when I was at the dealership. He's like, it's good that you're buying this car now because I bought a Honda. Down the road is like the auto mile. So
Mm-hmm.
Toyota didn't have any more new cars. They had no more
Wow.
new cars. There were no cars to even order. They didn't have anything. So cars, they've run out of cars to sell you. So then people started buying used cars. So they jacked up the price of used cars because they know that used cars are in demand now. Don't let your car break down or need a part that they have to order. Those things are like on backlog for 3 months because these cargo
Dang.
ships, some of these cargo ships have been waiting to port for over 10 days. They're just in a
Wow.
traffic jam. They've just been waiting out in the Pacific, just a long line going out to the Pacific,
Right?
waiting to port. Christmas is coming, guys. I don't know. Yeah. You may want to start now. You may want to get your Prime membership going on. If you
Right?
don't got Prime, you may want to get yourself some Prime so you can get some stuff right away because stuff is on back order. So that's what's going on. I want my dye and I want my dye now. Come on. This is
Oh,
crazy.
real quick, one thing to
Yeah, go
add with
ahead.
that's also like you said, computers, phone
Yeah.
chips,
Yeah.
a lot of supplies that just regular stuff,
Yeah.
that we need is stuck in the ports, and a
Isn't
lot of
right.
stuff comes through California.
Right.
A lot,
In
a
New York.
lot of products,
Yep.
California, New York.
California and New York are the ports, and those ports are jammed. And here's the other piece and the other problem. Once the ship does dock, the cargo ship, there are not enough truck drivers. And why aren't there truck drivers? Because
Oh,
y'all ain't paying enough money, right? Y'all out here, and not just truck drivers, just jobs in general. If you look
hmm.
through, I don't know what they're called anymore. It's not help wanted. Remember they used to have the help wanted
Yep, the help wanted
newspaper,
ads.
right? Well,
Let me
now,
circle this job.
right? If you go on Indeed or whatever the site is now, you'll see a job that's like you have to have like a master's degree or like bachelor's and a certificate. Then they want to pay you $45,000 a year or something ridiculous. So you got to pay people more. Like you have to
You
give
have
them
to.
a livable wage. You have to be able to live. Like the cost
Hmm.
of living has gone up, but wages are stagnant, and that is a problem. Just right. It's just
Hmm.
wages are flatlining. And then all of the employers, in 2020 was like, oh, it's the pandemic, no raises at all. Right. Meanwhile, the cost of groceries is going up. Milk is damn
Hmm.
near $5. If you want to buy milk
Damn
and
near.
cereal, yo, you need a $20 bill just to have milk and
Right?
cereal. That is crazy. And if your
Right?
house is like my house, one box can last one day. It's insane.
If
It's
that.
if that, it's pretty sad and ridiculous right now. So people,
And what I'm sorry, one more thing.
yeah,
I
go
know
ahead.
we have to keep the
It's
time.
it's good.
But another aspect of that, because wages are stagnant,
Mm-hmm.
a cost of living, like you said, a one bedroom is
Right,
damn near $1,000.
right, right,
And that's $1,000 just for rent. Not talking about your phone, not talking about insurance, not
right.
talking about your car note. Like you have all these other factors, and like you said, you have to pay a 20. You have to use a 20 to get milk and cereal. Like that's ridiculous.
I've never like, I don't know. Okay, so I'm not old enough to have bread that cost a dime, but I do recall my parents talking about bread that was a dime. I don't quite remember what bread was when I was a kid. Maybe it was like $1 something. I don't know. And even like maybe up to a decade ago, bread may have been like $1.99. Why is bread $5? And it's not even as many, like Wonder Bread used to be like the longest and the
It'd be
biggest
like
bread.
long as
Yeah. Right now, Wonder Bread is like this big. Like, what is going on right now? You guys are killing us. You're killing us. All right. So the whistleblower testified a couple of days ago, or it could have been
Mhm.
yesterday. Again, I don't know. Time just I work from home
it
now for
it it
now.
it melts together.
I don't remember time. It's she testified testified this week. Frances Hogan, she was a former Facebook manager. She testified before Congress regarding how social media networks harm young people. I want to expand on that because not only does it harm young people, it harms adults because we can see the effects of what's going on with the COVID deniers and the anti-vaxxers. I just wanted to talk about Facebook just a little bit, very quickly. So she wanted to testify because she wants to bring light to what Zuckerberg is doing. I left Facebook just because of Zuckerberg. Not that Twitter is that great, but like Facebook and Instagram, those things that pop up is just so crazy. Like, people will share an article and then I'm like, this doesn't even look real. And I would go and
Hmm.
pluck on one of the tabs and like it doesn't take you anywhere. Like the article was just never real. They make stuff up and Facebook just lets that stuff sit. So she was saying that Facebook is not able to effectively police anti-vaccine misinformation, which they're not, but they could be, right? So as they
Hmm.
stand now, they're not. And they don't want to because the more things go viral, the more money that Facebook makes. They're making
Hmm.
billions of dollars. And have you ever noticed, and this is the problem with Facebook and why they're saying it's harmful for kids, Facebook and Instagram. So if you look up, I don't, oh, here's a crazy thing that happened to me. Let me use myself as an example. I went on Facebook a while ago and this really made me stop. And then an ad popped up and I saw my name. It said like Lana and they were selling like blankets with like your initials or your name on it. So it actually had the blanket and it had Lana on it. And then Lana
Mm-mm.
cups and Lana this. And I'm like, whoa, what is this? So, if the children are clicking on makeup or if they're Googling something about, how to lose weight or pills, diet pills, or something like that. So they're going to get bombarded with all that type of stuff, which will continue to make them if they already have low self-esteem, that's going to continue to make them have low self-esteem
Hmm.
because it's going to continue to just give it to them and the first thing
Just
they
beating
see
them
when
in the
they
face with it.
right right there's you can't separate out and that is what's happening with uh Republicans and Democrats right now, right? So if you're on the fence about the vaccine and you Google something about, is COVID a hoax? That puts you right in the box. You're automatically in a box with anti-vaxxers because now
Hmm.
the algorithms are going to give you all information about ivermectin, all those articles that about drinking bleach, about, this is fake, chips are being inserted. Like, that's what you're going to get. If you're Googling stuff like, where can I go to get my vaccine or something like that, you're going to get all the other information. So what that does is there's the divide. That's why you got these nutcases running around trying to beat up doctors and nurses and trying to hurt people when they're walking their kids to school. It is Zuckerberg. And Zuckerberg, he knows. He can sit back and say, I didn't know this was happening. I'm not doing this for profit. We know that is a lie because of the money that he is reporting that he is making. And that's all I want to say about that. So mind your kids, like really watch your kids and what they're seeing, because it's not just Instagram, right? It's like, even if you're saying I'm watching what she's doing, but are you watching the ads that are coming onto her page? So that's the big takeaway from this, not just watching who they're chatting with and what they're doing, but watch those ads that are coming up, because those are the things that's detrimental to your kids. So next. So I'm going to combine, typically at the end of the show. Wow, this ring light is making me hot. Or is it just hot? I don't know what is happening. Maybe it is the sweater dress, but I'm like, why? I am starting to shine. So typically at the end of the show, I read a Black history fact, because Black history, as we know, is American history. But I'm just going to do a little combination because this ring light is killing me and I am like really hot. So this last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, this could have happened, but it's still in the news currently. Bruce's Beach, the Bruce's Beach property has been returned to the family. So if you don't know or are not familiar with Bruce's Beach was a beach resort in the city of Manhattan Beach, which is sounds like it should be in New York, but it's actually in California, Los Angeles County. It was owned by and operated for African Americans. Willa and Charles bought Bruce's Beach, that property, for $1,225. And they put up a resort and a bathhouse for Blacks, because during that time, in the 1920s, Blacks were locked out of beaches. We're in the heat and in heat waves, and you couldn't even go to a beach because white people, because racist.
You can't be here.
White people, but racist. Like there were actually like beach riots and stuff that went on. Like it was just really bad. What happened was what always happens throughout the years to Black people. Again, racists say, pick yourself up by the bootstraps, So Willa and Charles did that despite family being enslaved, despite poverty, despite being Black. They were able to buy this property, but it was taken away due to eminent domain. If you don't know what eminent domain is when the government can take private property and make it public property, but they have to pay you for it. So they literally just can go in and be like, you know what? We're running a railroad through here. Here's $200. See you later. And we're going to build a railroad. So that's exactly Deuces. That's exactly what happened. So the governor has just signed to give that property back to the rightful owners, which is the family. This all happened because of an advocacy group called Where's My Land, started by Kevon Ward. It's great because they're helping other Black people retrieve land that their ancestors had and lost through eminent domain, or just racist white people coming up on the land with rifles. Because you know what? That's what my mom used to say about my grandma. We're from Alabama. We had a lot of property. My grandmother used to sit on the porch. Now, mind you, this is Alabama, with the cinder blocks underneath her house, with the chickens and the roosters running around underneath it. And she would be out there with her shotgun because white people would come on her land and try to forcefully take it. So if they came, she saw them coming up the road, she would start firing shots because they wanted her land. So
Wow.
that's not how we lost the land. That's another episode.
Oh, but another thing, real quick, to
Yeah.
add to that, the
Yeah.
land that they took, they made millions of dollars off.
That is a good point. They made millions
Millions.
of dollars off of
Just
that
like what they
land.
did with
Yeah.
the beach that you were talking about.
Right.
They took it from them. They was like,
Yeah.
oh, nah, y'all uppity Negroes,
Yeah.
y'all can't have this. And like she said, they used intimate domain, took it, and
Yeah.
started making money off of it.
Started making money off of it.
They
Started making
made
money off of it.
millions of dollars off of that land, off of that beach that was owned by this black man. So not only are they taking taking the land, they're making money off it. And then
Right.
like, you know what? You don't deserve this. We do.
Right. Right.
So we're gonna take it from you and make money off it.
Right.
Like it's horrible. It's horrible.
Right. Right. So at the end of the day, if you think that there was land in your family, get in contact with Where's My Land, this advocacy group started by Kayvon Ward, and see what they can do for you, because reparations should be land, but also maybe reparations shouldn't be land because it's our land. Like, why are you giving us you're rewarding us for something that you did to us by giving us back what we already had? Like, it just, now that I think about it, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that was our land already. I guess if you didn't have any land in the first place, that works if you're going to get some land. But whatever the case is, kudos to all of these organizations, to all these activists that are out here doing the damn thing. Lawsuit, hit them in their pocket every single time, because I'm going to go somewhere. You're not going to be in a school and a teacher is going to say, you would be my field slave. That's just not going to happen without somebody going into their pocket. Hit them in their pocket every single time. Henrietta Lacks family, we forgot to mention, their attorney is Attorney Crum, the civil rights attorney. So he gonna get that money for them. This is absolutely insane. So that is the end of my segment, guys. I hope everyone enjoyed the show tonight. We enjoyed you guys. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Tell your friends to come back. We're going to have some upcoming guests soon. I don't recall or remember when or who they are, but our moderator can let y'all know. But we are having some guests, so please stay tuned, everyone. Thank you for coming out.
Real quick, yes, we love you guys. Again, like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, usual suspects. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Infinite, Michelle, Michelle P, the other Michelle P, DA, whoever else is out there watching that is not in the chat. Thank you guys for coming. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
We'll see you next week. Peace.
Bye.